guys, what's up? My name's Jackie. I have talked to you guys about my books up here. I've shown you guys my shelves a little bit, but I haven't really given you a tour. So I figured today would be a great day to just do a bookshelf tour. So let's just do it. If you've watched some of my previous videos, you might notice that I've already changed some things. Ow. Because I've been reading and buying more books and they need to go on my shelf. And I'm running out of room, so I'm readjusting and making it work. But yeah, so let's just do this. Let's jump right in. Okay, so this is the first row of my bookshelf, and it has pretty much a lot of my favorites. Honestly, this whole bookshelf that I'm showing you basically is my favorites. A lot of them, at least, because I have so many. But if you notice that there's no Harry Potter, don't freak out or be like, Jackie, what the heck, where's the Harry Potter? Because it's right over there. It's on my bookshelf of shame. I really need to organize it. It looks so bad. I'm so sad about it. But I'm running out of space. Like, I'm doubling up books and it's a mess. I just need to fix it. But I have two shelves over there dedicated to Harry Potter, so don't worry. They're represented. They're just not on this shelf because they need two shelves. These books are going to be annoying to get out, I realized, because of this. So to start, I have the Lunar Chronicles books by Marissa Meyer, and I have her novellas, Stars Above, so Cinder, Scarlet, Crest, Winter, and the Stars Above novellas. And then I also have Wires and Nerve, which is the graphic novel that she and someone else wrote, I think. Holgate, or illustrated maybe? I don't know, but it's phenomenal. I loved it. I thought it was so fun. It was really the only graphic novel I've ever read. You should check that out. Next, I have the Red Queen series, which I have this red edition of Red Queen. Is it like an anniversary? I guess it's just a collector's edition, and I love it because red's my favorite color, and it's just so cool. But I talk all about that in my last book haul, which you can go check out and see all the details in its beautiful glory. So then I have Red Queen, Glass Sword, and King's Cage. Okay, I'm sorry, I had to pause this video because I can't even look at this. Some of this is way too dirty. Also, if you're wondering how I clean my bookshelves, I use this makeup brush. I just had it for powder. I don't know who made it. Essence of Beauty, that's all it says on it. That's not important, but I use it to just clean off any dust if there is any, and it works really well. And I like it also too, like if I clean my books, because it doesn't like hurt them, and also you can do it like really fast. I'm so lazy, so I just don't have the patience to like really clean this off every day. So just when it like is looking a little I can just do this really quick, and I feel so much better, and I just keep it in the drawer I have at the bottom of my bookshelf, or you can just put it up here, whatever. Makeup brush is your friend. Fun fact, I didn't read any of these copies, so I actually started reading this when I was in college in Hawaii, actually. So I read it on my Nook. I read this on my Nook, that on my Nook, this on my Nook, and then this I read in this book. And then this I read in this book, and this I read in this book. They just look so gorgeous. I love them, and I know I'm gonna reread them, so it's better to have them in the hard copy so I don't completely destroy them. This Red Queen I haven't read. This Red Queen I have read. Glass Sword I've read, and King's Cage I have read. So I have read those. I also read Red Queen on my Nook too, because I just love that. So then I have Illuminate and Gemina, which, oh my gosh, if you haven't read these, read them. Like, I know the weird format might be like, like make you a little suspicious, but I loved it. I went into it with kind of low expectations, so that might be part of it, but yeah, just read them. And these I both read directly out of. It was amazing, and I ate them up in like a day, even though they're like 500 something pages. Illuminate and Gemina are by Emily Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I talked more about them in my previous videos, so go check those out and you can know all about it. And a contest with them, and my nerves and all sorts of stuff. So then I have Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. Red's my favorite color. Yes, love it. Behind this, I have Empire of Storms, Air of Fire, Crown of Midnight, and behind Crown of Midnight, I have Throne of Glass. I didn't read these ones because I read them on my Nook. I read this one on my Nook too. I read the book of these two. While I have these out, I'll just show you really quick the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. I have A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. I love this series. I read them all directly from here. I have a lot of Sarah J. Maas. I love them. Top shelfers, you know? Alright, and that is it for the top shelf. Let's move on down. Alright, and this is my second shelf. So this is also a shelf of favorites. I'm going to be saying that a lot. The first books I have are the Summer I Turned Pretty books. These are books that I read in high school. It was recommended to me by a friend, actually, and if she watches this, that's crazy. You know who you are. And I love them. They were so good. They were so cute and perfect for high school. Like, they're just so cute. I haven't read them in a few years now. I've reread them multiple times, but they're great. I don't think I've read these editions. I think I might have borrowed them the first time I read them. So it goes The Summer I Turned Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. And these books are good. Honestly, I cry in these ones, I think. Yes, I do. I've cried in these ones. This is a great series. They're so good, and especially if you're like really into just young adult contemporary, right up your alley. Then I have the Selection series by Kiera Cass. I love this series. Also a series that I fell in love with in high school. The Selection, the Elite, the One. Then I have Happily Ever After. I put it in the middle because first of all, it's really pretty, but it's a book of novellas. Some stuff in it like happens after these books, and it came out before these two books, so it just made sense. The Heir and the Crown and Happily Ever After in the middle. I really like this first half much better than like the second half. I've read them probably 4 or 5 times. Like I'm honestly more than that. I'm way into those. Like I love those books. Yeah, so definitely check them out, but I'll just show you. And then also the edition that I got came with this after the One, which is a little story, and I loved it. The Selection, the Elite, and the One. I've read all of these, but when I initially read them, I read them in paperback. If you've seen my videos before, I like to switch between them. Then I have Happily Ever After, The Heir, then The Crown, which was the conclusion of the series. I'm sorry, I'm doing kind of a bad job showing you these. I'll do better. Next, I have Life and Death by Stephanie Meyer. So this is the new Twilight Reimagined series where a lot of the characters change gender, and it was so fun to read. And you have to read it if you haven't read it. I won't say anything about it because obviously I don't want to spoil anything. So I have the like big edition. Honestly, you can see a trend in my books too. Like I love books that here's a book on one side and you flip it over. Here's another book. But yeah, so then it's Twilight on the other side, which I think is so cool. I'm pretty sure I just read both like when this came out. Oops. I think I read Life and Death and then I read Twilight. Yeah, I did. It was so fun. I loved it. I read this around Christmas and by the fire. Good memories. But then behind that, I have a Twilight paperback, which I haven't read this copy yet. Then I have New Moon. Then I have Eclipse. And then I have Breaking Dawn, all in paperback. I used to have old copies, actually, but I don't remember what happened to them. Like, I think one time I moved and they just were never seen again. But I read these as they came out, and I'm sure I'm going to thrash these soon. I tend to switch back and forth between having the Life and Death and the Twilight side out. I don't know why. I just think it's fun, and it's really pretty. I like having some books like facing forward. I don't know, I just like it. Next, I have The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I think that's how you say her name. And The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Ahdieh. It's just a little duology. Oh my gosh, I love these books. I think I read them in 2016, and they were some of my favorite books of the year. It was cool because it was like a big part of it for me was it was kind of a different culture that I hadn't really read about, and I loved it. It was so fun. They're so pretty. It's kind of like a romancy story. I don't know. I just loved it. It was so good. I don't even remember who recommended them to me, but I love them, and I read them both right out of the book. Next, I have the Paper Princess series. Paper Princess, Broken Prince, Twisted Palace, and Fallen Heir. Fallen Heir is the one that just came out. I just finished reading it a few days ago. I really liked it. I'm not going to talk about it. I still have to make a book talk on it. And I love these paperbacks. And they only come out in paperback, I think. But I love them. I love them. Here is Paper Princess, Broken Prince, Twisted Palace, and then Fallen Heir. So just from the top, I have When It's Real by Erin Watt, which is the same person who wrote the Paper Princess series. But it's actually 2 people, and I kind of talk a little bit about these in my previous videos, so you can check those out. I like these more, but this was really good too, When It's Real. And then I have my Jennifer L. Armentrout collection, which honestly isn't even that big. Like, I need to get more of her books. Oh wait, I just read one! Okay, but I'll tell you guys about that another time. But I haven't gotten the book yet. I just read it on my Nook because I couldn't wait. I was annoying my sister. So my sister was trying to read, but I just wanted her attention. I wanted to hang out with her. And she was like, just pick up another book so we can both read. And so I just started reading it, and I blew through it in 2 days. And it took place in this universe, the Obsidian, Onyx, Opal, Origin, Lux series. I think I read these all in Nook and then got them and then kind of read different parts of them. Again, in the paperback. This I read directly from. These I read directly from. Then this series, which is White Hot Kiss, Stone Cold Touch, and Every Last Breath. I know. These I read all straight out of the book. I just read a new one each day, during the holiday season. It was so fun by the fire. It was amazing. So here's When It's Real. White Hot Kiss, Stone Cold Touch. Oh, it's the Dark Element series. And then Every Last Breath. And then for the Lux series, so I have Obsidian, Onyx, Opal, Origin, Lux. And I don't know what edition this is, but this is the one I got. Oh, you guys, organizing this again is going to be a thing. Moving on down. This obviously is my Shadowhunters shelf. Let's start with this. This is my copy of Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, and it is a bunch of short stories about stuff that I won't say if you haven't read the series. Just read it, and then we can talk about it. Oh, also, all these are by Cassandra Clare, if you didn't know that. Then I have City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. So that was the Mortal Instruments and Infernal Devices series. And then I have those in the paperback Barnes & Noble editions, and I love them. I actually read them out of these. I would just read one once a week, and it was awesome, and I miss doing that. So here I have them all again. I just found out that they're doing that for the Dark Artifices series with Lady Midnight and Lord of Shadows, so I'm definitely going to get those. And I'm pretty sure this part, like the side, is white, and it looks really cool, so I definitely want those immediately. So then I have hardcover Lord of Shadows, Lady Midnight. I read them directly out of the books, and I loved it. I loved it so much, which I also did for Tales from the Shadowrunner Academy, which is down there. I need these to look good again immediately. And then also just at the end, I have this Suicide Squad book thing, and it has like little secrets inside. And then this I've just been using to put my little magnet or just random bookmarks. I just am collecting them, and I just thought it was cute to put them in there, and then I keep other ones in a secret place. Okay, and then getting down to the final shelf, the first books I have right on top are one of the collector's editions of V.E. Schwab's A Darker Shade of Magic. This is the Barnes & Noble special edition, and I talk about that in one of my book hauls that I mentioned earlier, so you can just check that out if you want more information. Then I have this really cool Barnes & Noble copy of Pride and Prejudice. I love it. It has this like weird bendy special cover. It's just so pretty. I love the blue. I love it. Yeah. And then it has this kind of green side, which I love less, but you know, whatever. I still love it. Yeah, I haven't really read from this copy yet. The first copy I actually read was from my teacher in 12th grade, my English teacher, and she just loaned me her copy that her sister had like wrecked or something. I don't know. I loved it. I like wanted to keep it, but I give it back. So shout out to you if you're watching this, because we're like actually friends. Next, I have another collector's edition of A Darker Shade of Magic, but it's pretty much similar to the other one, which again, I talk more about it in my book haul. Then I have the rest of the Darker Shade of Magic series. I have A Darker Shade of Magic again. This is the copy that I read out of paperback, and it's really pretty, and I love it. All these are so pretty, and like red's my favorite color, and so I love these. Then I have A Gathering of Shadows, A Conjuring of Light, and I loved reading out of this edition. It was so cool. Then I have Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. I don't know, I always mess it up. But yeah, I love this hardcover edition. It's so pretty. That's why I couldn't resist getting, for one of my many trips to Barnes & Noble, the new cool paperback edition. How cool is that? I love it. I haven't read out of it yet, but like, oh my gosh, it's so cool. It feels so good in my hand. I just love it. Next, I have The Assassin's Blade, which is another novel by, oh, I should put this up there. So it's another Sarah J. Maas novel, and I feel like I could fit this up there somewhere, so that's gonna have to be rearranged. I love this copy. It's paperback. I know they have it in hardcover, but I just really wanted this paperback edition. It's gorgeous. I love it. I don't know if I've talked about this, but I've read all of it except for the last chapter. Like, if you know what the last chapter is, then you understand why. Next, I have my Percy Jackson series with the Barnes & Noble edition covers, and I won't pull those out because I have a Percy Jackson book talk where you can look at all of them in their beautiful glory. The Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. I love them. They're gorgeous, and I need to get more Rick Riordan right now. Next, I have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. I remember really liking this, but I haven't read this in a long time. Where's Siege and Storm? And I think my other two are on my other bookshelf because I moved not that long ago and I got everything mixed up. So I have that, which I did read out of. I have Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye? Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. And the new one just came out, but I haven't read it yet. And I read out of this. Then I have Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo again, another Leigh Bardugo. And it has the cool painted pages. It's beautiful. I love it. I read right out of this one. Same with Crooked Kingdom, which was the second and final book in the duology. And has the beautiful red painted pages on the side, which I love. And it's red, which made me love it even more. And I literally would like be reading the book and be like, ooh. Like, it was so distracting, but, like, in the best way. Then I have Truth Witch and Wind Witch, which are by Susan Dennard, and it is in the Witchland Novels trilogy? I don't know. I have these two books. I like them both. They're really good. They're different from what I normally read a little bit. I don't know. I just really like them. I read directly out of these ones. I loved how big they are, and I love these. Next, I have my copy of Caraval, which I did just read straight out of, by Stephanie Garber, and that was really great. That was fun. Then I have An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and the sequel to it, which is A Torch Against the Night. And I really like these books too. I thought they were so good, so fun. I won't like say too much about them because I don't want to spoil anything, but I like these. I liked reading out of these too, I remember. Like, they're good. I can't wait for the third book. I wonder when that comes out. And last on this shelf, I have one of my favorite childhood books, Big Pumpkin. Yeah, I used to read this when I was a little kid. Honestly, I read it not a month ago. I love it, and it like gets stuck in my head, which is weird because it's not a song, it's like a book. But like, if you know this book, like, you know what I'm talking about. I like having that right there because it's one of my favorites. So then my last shelf is basically on the ground, so just like roll with me with this. First up, I have One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I think that's how you say it. I like this book. I read right out of it. My sister read it too. Then I have Till Death by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I did read this copy. Then To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and the sequel, P.S. I Still Love You. I do have the new book. I just haven't read it yet, so it's not up on my shelf. But I did read out of both of these copies. Next up, I have Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Then the next book by her in the same kind of universe is Lola and the Boy Next Door. They're just some fun contemporary reads. I read these editions and I love them. Also, they're really pretty. I know that they used to have different covers, but I hadn't read them with those old covers, so I only have these copies. I have The Good Girl by Mary Kubica. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I think my sister might have bought this for me. I don't know if she bought it or just recommended it, but thank you. I love you, Allie. It was really good. I loved reading it. I read right out of this copy, as you can see from the spine. Then I have Replica by Lauren Oliver. I read right out of this during the holidays last year. I loved it. Then I have The Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McCurrig. I don't know. And Walking Disaster by the same author. I think these are like the same books told in different perspectives. I honestly don't remember too much about them. I read them so long ago, but I did like them. They're very dramatic, definitely new adult. Then I have my box set of The Hunger Games. I read them when I was younger, and then I don't know what happened to these copies. They're probably somewhere with my old Twilight copies and the Halloween Townhouse, if you know what I'm talking about. That's really funny. I just got myself some new copies. Next, I have my copy of the third book, The Titan's Curse in the Percy Jackson series, in paperback because I accidentally got it in paperback and I was getting them all in hardcover. Then I have Snow Like Ashes in paperback, and the next one, Ice Like Fire, and the last book, Frost Like Night. I read those a long time ago, and I read them really fast, so I don't super remember, but I remember really liking how each season has a culture. I don't know, I just thought they were so cool. Oh my god, this is the chakra. Oh, okay. I just got something about it. And the last book I have on this shelf is There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. I just read this after Halloween. It was very scary and disturbing. It's young adult, but I don't know. Some of it's a little scary, so viewer discretion. Then I have a little goofy toy, a candle, one of these little stones. This is kind of just random stuff. I don't even know like how these got here. And a little sack boy from Little Big Planet, if you've ever heard of that video game. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. And leave me a comment if there's any books that you have different editions of, or if you have any tips or tricks for organizing your bookshelf, because I always want to know, or cleaning it aside from my little makeup brush. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really need to organize this right now, so I'm about to go do that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!